I was at I believe to be one of P. Diddy's freak-offs.
His son Justin is struggling to rent homes because of his bad reputation. Let me explain. Obviously, they did lie. We all know he loves a party. Apparently, so does his son.
So we get there, and that's when stuff got weird. And that's why they lock up our phones, because they know what we see in there. You know, he can get in trouble, like right now. So basically, we arrived, security guard patted us down. They put our phone in this little bubble case. So the bubble case is closed. They can't get unlocked until we walk out. So as we're there, the only way of us taking any type of pictures is if we get in the photo booth. He has like a photo booth or whatever. Take like 4 pictures. So I got pictures. I still got everything in my Snap too, like of the photos, everything. That's all you could get.
The hits just keep on coming against P. Diddy, with a string of new civil lawsuits filed against the embattled music icon just this week. But Diddy isn't the only one facing major allegations. 2 of his sons, Justin and Christian Combs, are both named in several civil suits that list Diddy as a defendant. The accusations against them are pretty serious, ranging from drugging victims and sexually assaulting them to apparent involvement in a shoot. Diddy might be locked up, but it seems his freak-offs are still going strong. And get this, allegedly, it's his son who is leading them now. Yep, you heard me correctly. Diddy's son Justin seems to have taken his father's place. And y'all, he is even worse than Diddy. Justin is so bad that a ban has been issued against him in LA. People have heard enough of Diddy's family, so join me today as we look into why the police are allegedly after Diddy's son for being the new mastermind of the freak-offs. After Diddy got arrested, the whole world was relieved to hear that the awful things he'd been doing for years had finally come to an end. I mean, at least all the victims of his heinous acts over the years would finally receive some kind of justice. However, the last couple of weeks have quickly proven that Diddy's influence runs very deep. First, the world heard that despite being in prison, Diddy was allegedly threatening people he thought would testify against him in court. And not only that, prosecutors accused Diddy of trying to influence the potential jury for his cases. Now, if that's not enough, word on the street is that Diddy's freak-offs are still going on, and it's rumored that his son Justin Combs is now leading them. Apparently, Justin's parties are so over the top and way worse than Diddy's that he has now been banned from renting venues in LA to host his parties. This news came about after a source came forward and exposed everything that goes on at these alleged parties. Apparently, a broker of mansions in Southern California told the Post that it seems Justin is following in his father's footsteps by throwing over-the-top lavish parties full of people. The broker works for a company that regularly rents mansions for Justin and his friends. When Justin would make arrangements to rent houses, he would say he was hosting just about 20 people, but often more than 200 people would show up and wreck the whole place, often leaving serious damage behind. This has gone on for so long that it has reached a point where no one is willing to rent houses to Justin anymore. The Post reported that there's been no proof that Justin's parties tend to end up like Diddy's. He has often been seen downing shots of tequila and vodka on his Instagram, as well as partying with his dad and pals. As soon as this news started going viral, Justin's lawyer spoke to the Post and said that Justin hadn't been charged with a crime or sued, so as far as the law is concerned, Justin has done nothing wrong. It doesn't come as a surprise to anyone that Justin is doing this. In fact, if rumors are to be believed, Diddy has always involved his sons in his freak-offs. According to TAA, a woman who once attended Diddy's freak-offs, Diddy and his sons ran the events like a tight ship. TAA recounted her experience at a freak-off and all the bizarre things she claimed to have seen. According to TAA, secrecy was a big deal for Diddy at these parties, and he didn't joke about it. I mean, these freak-offs allegedly took place for years, so it seems like Diddy went to great lengths to keep everything quiet. TAA alleged that security at Diddy's parties was extremely tight, and that you couldn't just stumble into one of Diddy's events by mistake. People were made to hand over their phones and electronics at the entrance, and security sealed them in bubble cases so that no one could take photos or videos of what went down. It seemed like only Diddy was allowed to do that. Alright, get this T. According to Diddy's parties weren't just chaotic free-for-alls. They were highly organized with different sections, and guests couldn't just wander wherever they pleased. Diddy shared that at one of Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, she was approached by one of Diddy's sons after she got inside. Apparently, his sons were in charge of hand-picking people to invite into the main house, where the real freak-offs were allegedly happening. But it didn't stop there. Those selected to participate in the freak-offs were reportedly given a pair of white shoes, which served as a clear signal that they were approved to take part in the wild activities. It's like there was this whole secret system in place and not just anyone could get in. But as you can imagine, the story doesn't end there. It only gets darker. TTA described the scene as complete chaos once you got into the section of the house where these alleged parties took place. The lights were dim, the music was blaring, and it was so loud and dark that you could barely see or hear anyone. According to her, waitresses were constantly passing around drinks, and a lot of the guests were walking around completely nude. But here's where it gets even weirder. Diddy allegedly had a thing for people dressed like Harajuku dolls, complete with red lipstick. Yes, dolls. And these weren't just late-night shenanigans. DACK728 claimed she saw this going down at 7 in the morning. Now, when it comes to completely trashing rental properties, Diddy was also good at that. One of the best examples was Meek Mill's 27th birthday, which Diddy hosted. First of all, when it came to Meek Mill, Diddy spared no expense. For Meek's birthday, Diddy rented out a Parisian palace for a day, which set him back a whopping $225,000. Now trust me when I tell you, Diddy got his money's worth with Meek, if you know what I mean. Y'all, this wasn't just any gathering. It was packed to the brim with people. The mansion was reportedly crowded with celebs like King Bosh, French Montana, Lil Durk, and others in attendance. Diddy made sure this party was the place to be, filled with high-profile names to keep the spotlight shining. It's giving all kinds of chaotic energy, and the story just keeps getting weirder, y'all. This party wasn't just big, it was massive. According to reports, nearly 900 people showed up to Diddy's freak-off party. Celebrities were spotted shuffling through the crowds, adding to the chaotic scene. Flanked by their entourages of bodyguards and arm candy, the place was packed wall to wall, giving off total chaos vibes. It wasn't just a party, it was a full-blown spectacle, with high-profile names everywhere you turned. Alright, let me set the scene for what reportedly went down inside this party because it's next level wild. Inside the mansion, dancers wearing nothing but lingerie performed seductive routines on makeshift stages scattered throughout the house. Meanwhile, scantily dressed women posed with rappers, adding to the over-the-top atmosphere. And get this, on one table, a woman lay wearing nothing but a tiny piece of clear vinyl, with sushi placed all over her body. Guests were eating sushi off her while other women offered bottles of sauce for dipping. It was excess, chaos, and spectacle all rolled into one. Guests were posing for the cameras with their friends, capturing the chaotic and glamorous energy of the night. At one point, Meek Mill, French Montana, and Diddy himself took center stage to deliver a speech to the crowd. It was a spectacle of celebrities, luxury, and excess that left everyone talking. This party wasn't just an event, it was a show, and it's clear Diddy wanted to make a statement. The amount of work and attention to detail Diddy demanded for this party was insane. 1 month before the event, Diddy's PA contacted Jason Ha, the property manager for the Parisian palace where the party took place. Let me know your opinions because this story is just insane.